Dumelang batho ba Freistata, dumelang. Sanbonani. Abshin. Dimacheroni. Fuyemwore. Program Director, Minister Natim Tetwa, ministers who are here and deputy ministers, Premier of the Free State, Mayor Sintombela, Majoro wa rona mona Freistata, the MEC tsa rona tsa mona Freistata, Your Majesties, traditional leaders and leaders of various political formations, the leaders of trade union formations and civil society organizations, bomme le bontate, ke motlotlo haholo ho ema pela lona mona ka letsatsi lena le bohlokwa haholo bophelong ba rona re le batho ba mona South Africa, letsatsi la tikoloho ya rona South Africa mona. Ke motlotlo haholo ho ba mona Freistata provinceng ena e hara naha ya rona kaofela, province ena le mofuthu, provinceng e ileng ya etsa sure hore mona Mangaung ka 1912 ho theiwe mokgatlo ona o bitswang African National Congress o ileng wa lwanela tokoloho ya rona. This is the warmth in this province that for many years incubated the many brave freedom fighters of this province. It is the warmth that also enveloped the late Mama Winnie Mandela during her years of banishment in Brantford. It was in this province that the women of Bloemfontein, of Kroonstad, of Winberg and Jagersfontein in 1913 organized the very first anti-pass protest in our country. Province ena ke province ya dinatla, ke province ya batho ba ileng ba lwanela tokoloho ya rona, ke province ya bomme ba ileng ba ikemisetsa hore ka nnete ba tla ilwanela tokoloho ena ya rona pele ho ba le di-protest tsa dipasa. Ile ya ba mona Freistata ka selemo sa 1913 mo bomme ba ileng ba ema ka maoto ba re tjhe rona re ka se tshware dipasa, ka nnete ba hana bomme bano. Their defiance and their desire for equality Many of these women were subsequently imprisoned and subjected to hard labor. Ba ilwe ba iswa tjhankaneng, ba sebetsa ka thata, ba hlopheha, ba ile ba arolwa mo baneng ba bona, ba lwanela tokoloho ena e ka letsatsi lena la di 27 tsa April re ketekang. On this day, 24 years ago, we were able, as South Africans, for the first time in our lives, to exercise our democratic right to vote as equals before the law for a government of our choice, marking our country's first historic transition from the dark period of apartheid, oppression, to a free and equal society. It is the day on which our rightful place as a people deserving of respect and dignity was restored, where the humiliation of racial discrimination formally came to an end in our land. This is the day when the struggle of our forebears, the struggles of Ngungunyane, the struggles of Makado, the struggles of Kechwayo, the struggles of Moshweshwe, Sekhukhune, Bambata, Dube, Maxeke, Luthuli, Mandela, Sisulu, Tambo, Ngoi, Mompati, and many others, Ndate Mufutanyane, and indeed many others, were finally vindicated as the dream for which they sacrificed now became a reality. With our new democratic constitution embracing equal rights and opportunities for all, we ceased to be a pariah in the land of our birth. We had at last an opportunity to build a new and better life for our people. Through our democratic constitution and progressive laws, through a concerted program of social and economic redress, we have made great progress in transforming this country. La ho ka thweng ka nnete yona tswelopele re bone ho tloela ka 1994 naha ena ya borona a e sa tshwana le South Africa yane ya pele ho 1994. Re tsweletse pele ka nnete, ba rata kapa barate, re tsweletse pele, ehlile re ntse re tswella pele, re sebetsa ka nnete. Women now exercise significant influence in public life thanks to the Constitution. Bomme naheng ena ya bo rona ba ne ba shebelwa tlase, bomme ba ne ba sa fiwe monyetla wa hore ho be le mesebetsi e bohlokwa e ba e etsang, le meputso ya bona e ne e le tlase haholo ho ya banna. Kasheko lena mona Freistata re na le premier wa rona o a leng mme. Freistata ka nnete e tsamaela pele, kasheko lena ho tswile monna ho kene mme. Ntho eno ra e leboha, re re halala bomme halala. Halala premier wa rona halala. Ihlile re mo kgethile hore a be premier, re mmona hore o na le bokgoni, ho na le tseo a tsebang ho di etsa, ihlile re tseba hore o tla re etapele mona Freistata. Re ile ra mmona le ka tsela a na a bua ka yona, le ka tsela a na a ikemiseditse ka yona, ihlile le ka tsela e a tsamayang ka yona. Re ile ra bona hore tjhe, mona ke premier e tla re sebeletsang. Ke a kgolwa hore la robetse hae lapeng mane o robala ho tshwana le premier, re a mo leboha hore a be premier ya rona. The lives of many poor women have improved through better education, accessible health care, and the provision of basic services. And yet, while we have done much to address the racial and gender distortions of the past, so much more still remains to be done. So many of our people still experience hunger. Millions are still unemployed. Many still do not have houses, electricity, or even clean water. Ho ntse ho na le batho ba bangata mona lefatsheng la heso ba senang mesebetsi. Batho ba bangata ba hlophehang. Ho ntse ho na le batho ba bangata ba senang metsi mo ba dulang teng. Ho ntse ho na le batho ba bangata ba senang le seweretse mo ba dulang teng. Ehlile bongata ba bona a ba soka ba fumana dintlo. Laeba dintlo tse fetang 4 milione di ahilwe, re ntse re fumana hore bongata ba batho ba heso ba ntse ba hloka dintlo. Mesebetsi ya rona re le mmuso wa South Africa, re le batho ba naha ena o ntse o le mongata. Therefore, as we celebrate the freedoms that we have achieved and the great advances that we have made, we need to use this Freedom Day to affirm our determination to intensify the struggle of socio-economic freedom for all our people. Our people cannot be free if they do not have jobs. Our people cannot be free if they do not have education and if they do not have better livelihoods. We know that the advent of democracy did not automatically heal the divisions of the past. We must work resolutely to remove the obstacles that still divide our society and strengthen the many ties that bind us together. For example, we still, as the National Development Plan said, we are still divided on a number of fronts. We are still divided between black and white. We are still divided between young and old. We are still divided between rich and poor, between rural and urban. We are still divided in many, many ways. Our task is to try and bridge those divisions. Our task as a nation in formation is to make sure that those gaps and those divisions are closed. On a day like this, when we all celebrate Freedom Day, it is a day when all South Africans, black and white, united as a nation, should be celebrating this day and sparing a few hours to come to a stadium like this to celebrate who we are. Because on this day, we don't only celebrate our freedom, we also celebrate our future. We also celebrate who we are, a people that are diverse, a people that have different languages, different cultures, and yet a common future. We are celebrating this Freedom Day in the centenary year of former President Nelson Mandela and Mama Sisulu, our brave and consummate freedom fighters, would have turned 100 years. Mayor Albertina Sisulu was a valiant freedom fighter who undertook dangerous work in the underground as she mobilized the mass formations of the democratic movement. Mayor Albertina Sisulu o ile a re ha ntate Walter Sisulu a isitswe tjhankaneng for bophelo ba hae kaofela. O ile a re le yena o tla nka moo ntate Sisulu a se ileng teng a tswelle pele le ntwa ena ya tokoloho. O ile a kena ntwa ya tokoloho ka boyena a mobilize batho ba heso hore ka nnete qetellong re fumane tokoloho. We must agree with the then Secretary of Justice, who in the 1960s informed the police commissioner that Mama Sisulu needed to be watched carefully because she was as politically capable as a jailed husband and very good in organizing and oratory. Through her strong values, her humility, and her commitment to the struggle for democracy, Mama Sisulu remains an inspiration to us as we navigate the challenges of building a society that is responsive to the needs of our people. It was Madiba who cautioned us not to be captivated by the allure of the achievement of freedom. Though we have climbed a great hill, he said, we dare not linger because there are many more hills to climb still. Though we have achieved a constitutional democracy in which all have equal rights, we dare not linger because we still have much to do to build an inclusive economy that serves the interests of all our people and advances their lives. We cannot deny that we have made tremendous strides in improving the economic participation of Black people and women in South Africa. We have a middle class that has grown significantly over the many years. This middle class, largely made of Black people, started emerging in real earnest after 1994. Despite the great disparities in opportunity, we have emerging a new generation of Black entrepreneurs, managers, professionals, and artisans. The considerable rise over the last 2 decades in the number of learners in school and the number of students enrolled at higher education places in South Africa is a strong position to achieve inclusive growth and development. Se re thabisang haholo ko hore pele ha 1994 bana ba rona ba bangata ba ne ba sa kene dikolo. Kajeko lena bana ba rona ba bangata ba kena dikolo. Selemo le selemo ho kena bana ba 1 million ka tsatsi la ho qala la sekolo. Ke yona ntho e re bontshang hore ka nnete bana ba rona le batswadi ba bona ba nkela thuto e le ntho e kgolo haholo bophelong ba bona. Bao ba kenang di-university re fumana hore le bona ka nnete lenane la bona le ntse le ya hodimo selemo le selemo. Ke yona ntho e re thabisang eno. We have done much to reduce poverty through social grants, access to health care, and to the provision of houses to the poor. However, if we do not end poverty, then we need to create much broader, if we do want to end poverty rather, then we need to create much broader economic opportunities for our people. We need to grow our economy and create decent work. We need to attract investment on a much greater scale, and we need to improve the education and skills of all our people. At the same time, we need to transform our economy with regard to ownership, the control thereof, and the management of this economy of ours, so that Black South Africans and women are fully represented and equally benefit from this economy that we want to grow. In short, we need to intensify radical economic transformation in our country. It is for these reasons that we, as we celebrate Freedom Month, we are embarking on an ambitious new investment drive that aims to draw local and international investors into those parts of the economy that have the greatest potential for job creation. In preparation for an investment conference, which I spoke about in the State of the Nation address, we are sending out 4 special envoys to meet with potential investors in major centers across South Africa and indeed across the world. Re batla hore bao ba nang le ditjhelete ba mose le ba mona hae re ba bitse batle ba tlo kenya ditjhelete tsa bona ho di-company tse ngata mona re ahe mesebetsi. Re fumane hore ho bohlokwa hore re fumane ditjhelete re di kenye ho di-company tse ngata tsa rona hore re kgone ho aha mesebetsi. Dinaha tse tswelang pele ho aha mesebetsi ke dinaha tse etsang hore ba kgone ho bitsa bao ba nang le ditjhelete ba tle ba tlo kenya ditjhelete naheng ya bona. Le rona re leetong lena leno la ho bitsa bao ba nang le ditjhelete ba di tlise mona ba tlo di investa mona, re ahe mesebetsi, re ahe di-company tsa rona. Eo re tla etsa ka nnete re ikemiseditse, re itse re batlo re raise 100 billion ya di-dollars ke 1.2 trillion ya di-ranta e re batlang hore e tlise mona South Africa e tlo aha mesebetsi. We are also working to make our economy more competitive and more attractive to investors. We are sustaining our massive investment in infrastructure, building roads, building bridges, railway lines, ports, as well as schools, hospitals, and colleges and clinics. Re batla hore re tswelle pele le mesebetsi ya ho aha ditsela tsa rona, dipetlele, re ahe matamo hore batho ba rona ba fumane metsi. Ditjhelete tseo tse ntse di lahleha hohle mmusong, re batla hore di kgutliswe ditjhelete tseno, di tle di tlo aha matamo ana. Ditjhelete tseno re tla di latela, re be re di fumane, ka hobane re batla hore di tlo sebeletsa setjhaba sa heso, e ska ba ditjhelete tse sebeletsang batho ba itseng fela. Ha re shebisisa hantle, re fumana hore tjhelete e teng naheng ena ya rona. Tjhelete eo e le nna ke ikemiseditse hore e be tjhelete e sebeletsang setjhaba. Re sebeletse setjhaba ka tjhelete eno, re ahe dintlo, re ise bana ba rona dikolong. So re bao ba re ba bitsang ba tlo kenya ditjhelete tsa bona mona, le rona re batla hore ditjhelete tse re nang le tsona le tseo tse lahlehileng le tseo tse utswitsweng di kgutliswe, di tlo sebeletsa setjhaba. South Africa ena e tswelle pele hantle. Ha re le tjena, we are fixing our state-owned enterprises. State-owned enterprise by state-owned enterprise, we are putting them right, we are appointing the right people, we are appointing the right board of directors, we are straightening out their business plans. We want to ensure that our state-owned enterprises serve the interests of our people as a whole and do not serve the interests of just a few. This we are determined to do because those enterprises are owned by the people of our country. And on this Freedom Day, we want to free our state-owned enterprises of every corrupt act, of every wrongdoing. We want to free our SOEs so that we set them free to work for our people more effectively. And this we are on the way to doing. We are also using industrial incentives. We are also setting up special economic zones. We are also using our local procurement requirements to expand our manufacturing capacity. We do this so that we can increase the industrial capacity of our country, so that we can improve jobs. And we are focusing on localization of production of goods and services. We are focusing on localization of procurement. In support of this, we are working to de-racialize our economy by strengthening our broad-based Black economic empowerment policies. We are also investing in Black industrialists, opening up markets for new Black entrants through more effective competition policies and using the buying power of the state to support black business. The state is serious about supporting the emerging black businesses that are owned by our people. And I mean black businesses that are really operating, black businesses that are doing things. Those are the businesses the state wants to support. Ising bao ba tla bang fela ba leka ba ntse ba ya mane le mane ba sa etse mesebetsi e tlameileng hore e etswe. Nako e nngwe o fumane hore ba patalwa ba sa etsa mesebetsi e ne ba tlameile hore ba e etse. Mmuso wa rona o batla ema ka morao ha bano ba ikemiseditseng, re batla tshwarana matsoho le bano ba batlang o haha di-business tsa bona, re ba tiise matsoho hore ba sebetse hantle, ba sebeletse setjhaba. We've made important progress in improving the conditions of the working poor. Parliament is currently finalizing legislation so that we can implement a national minimum wage for the first time in our country's history, fulfilling the demand that was made at the Congress of the People in 1995. In 1995, our forebears said they want a national minimum wage, a wage below which no worker should earn. That was a demand made in 1955. It is a great victory for the workers of this country that today we stand on the cusp of having a national minimum wage. It is a tribute to the social partners, our unions, the union federations that were involved in the discussions, NACTU, FEDUSA, and COSATU, that represented millions of our workers in this country, yes, as well as our social partners in the form of public organizations that represent our people, as in social organizations where our people live, as well as business. Some people have argued that the starting minimum wage of 20 Rand an hour is not a living wage. Yes, they are correct. 20 Rand an hour is not a living wage. It was never seen as a living wage. Some argue that the national minimum wage will not end income inequality. Yes, they are correct, it will not. But what the national minimum wage does provide is a firm and unassailable foundation, which is agreed by all social partners, from which we are going to advance the struggle for a living wage. The struggle for a living wage must be engaged. 20 Rand an hour asiyo na living wage. We want our people to earn more money. We are called a middle income country, and we want our people to earn much higher. What we needed to do was to balance between those people who are earning very little today. We must remember that the national minimum wage is going to increase the income of over 6.6 million working South Africans. 6.6 working South Africans are suddenly going to earn much higher than what they are earning now. We found that 6.6 million workers in our country are earning way below 20 rand an hour. Through this, we are going to lift 6.6 million workers. An increase of that size and that extent is really unprecedented in our history, and we must celebrate this as a foundation that will enable working people in our country to go on with the struggle, with the fight for a living wage. The struggle for a living wage must be engaged by all. And in fact, our trade unions must be at the forefront of this struggle to fight for a living wage. What we have done is to provide a foundation, and let us use this foundation to fight for a better wage, a living wage for our people. To advance radical economic transformation, we are working to empower the youth of our country through education, skills development, and workplace experience. This year, we have introduced free higher education for students from poor households. Kannete tswelopele e re bonang ka nnete kgolo. Kasheko lena bana bao ba hlahang malapeng a batho a batswadi ba hlophehang, a batswadi ka nnete ba sa amoheleng tjhelete e ngata, re bana ba bona le bona ba kgona ho ya di-collegeng le di-university ba sa patala letho ka free education yena. Ke yona tswelopele e bohlokwa ena e re batla ho e bona mona South Africa. Ba heso re ntse re tswella pele hanyane re ya pele mo re batlang ho ya teng. Tsena tse ntse re di etsa le re ska ra di nyefola kapa ra di shebela tlase. Ke tsona ntho tse bohlokwa tse bontshang hore ka nnete koloi ena a ya ema, e na le mabili, ehlile mabili a yona a tsamaya, ebile e na le engine ena ya iqhoba e ya pele. Re tswella pele le hao ba bang ba ntse ba nyefola ba shebela tlase dintho tsena tse re di etsang. Together with an accessible and quality basic education system, this measure of free education for children from poor families promises to break the cycle of poverty. It means that millions of South Africans who are born into poverty will, through education, be able to live comfortable lives and secure lives as adults. Constantly, we are breaking down the barriers of education. We are working also to ensure that young people who graduate from our schools, colleges, and universities are also made ready for the world of work. Together with our social partners in business and labor, we recently launched the Youth Employment Service Program, which aims to provide work experience opportunities for 1 million unemployed young people over the next 3 years. Milioni kaofela ya batho ba batjha ba tla fumana monyetla wa hore ba kene mesebetsing e tla ba rutang mesebetsi kaofela ya economy Nteo le yona ke tswelopele ena a re soka re bona dinaheng tse ngata tse tshwanang le lena ya rona re ntse re qhoba re tswella pele ka nnete. Economic freedom, fellow South Africans, means that the land that was taken away from black South Africans also needs to be returned. Our forebears said in the Freedom Charter that the land must be shared amongst those who work it. They said this because they had realized that even in 1955, that only a few people in our country owned the greater portion of our land, and that as they owned this portion, the notion of sharing the land did not even enter their minds. And it is for this reason that our forebears demanded in the Freedom Charter that the land shall be shared amongst those who work it. They wanted their land back so that it can be used as an economic resource to improve their lives. They want this important resource, land, to be shared as it is set out in the Freedom Charter. Land is an important economic resource. Its energy, its economic value, and its social power must be unlocked and be put to good use in the hands of all our people. We have a situation in our country where we have masses of tracts of land, some owned by the government, some owned by state-owned enterprises, some owned by companies, yes, some owned by individuals. And this land at the moment is not being shared by the majority of our people. The majority of our people, many of whom are hungry for land so that they can use it as an economic resource, are locked out of the utilization of land. So we are saying, we are committed to accelerate the redistribution of land in our country. The redistribution of land, its time has come. It cannot be avoided. We cannot run away from it. We cannot hide our heads in the sand. It has to happen, and it must happen now in our lifetime. This is what our forebears fought for. Now, this is land both in urban and rural areas, and this should be to ensure that poor South Africans are able to own land and have the means to work it. But more importantly, as this land is returned to our people, the government will have to do everything it can to support those to whom the land will be given to. Among the measures that we are going to use to accelerate redistribution of land is that of expropriation without compensation, as we look at various categories of land. We are going to be able to do precisely that. We call on all South Africans to be part of this broad consultation process on how we should implement this decision of making sure that land should be shared amongst our people, and that we should do this in ways that makes redistribution of land meaningful, which will contribute to strengthening our economy, which will also strengthen agricultural production and make sure that we improve food security. Now, this gives us great opportunities. As we redistribute land, we should be guided by what our forebears set out in the Freedom Charter, that the land must be shared amongst those who work it. And as we do all this, we must empower our people. As we empower them, government must support them, and we must ensure that we grow our economy, we grow our agricultural production as we effect this whole redistribution of land. This gives us great opportunities. This makes our resolution an important resolution that is implementable. This measure aims also to extend property rights to all South Africans, so that it is not only a few South Africans who have property rights. We earned our political rights, our democratic rights together collectively, and so must we all be given an opportunity to participate in the economic rights that are due to us as South Africans. Fellow South Africans, this is a day on which the dream of a free Africa was brought ever closer to realization. As South Africa, one of the last colonial outposts on the continent, tasted freedom. It was a culmination of a dream for which many in this country, on this continent, and across the entire world sacrificed a great deal. We remain grateful for the solidarity and the assistance that we received from the international community, and are determined that we ourselves should be champions of democracy, peace, and human rights across the world. We will use our leadership and membership of SADC, our membership of BRICS, and the G20, the Commonwealth, and many other international bodies to forge a new world order founded on equality, dignity, mutual respect, cooperation, as well as human rights. Our democratic breakthrough was a huge victory for this continent and the freedom-loving nations of the world. The struggle for freedom consumed the boundless energy and extraordinary talents of our people. Now we have an opportunity to put our remarkable opportunities and capabilities as a people to advance human progress. Our duty as custodians of this democracy, as the owners of this democracy, as the beneficiaries of this democracy, as the defenders of this democracy, is to direct all our resources to conquer poverty, joblessness, racial hatred, anarchy, violence, and lawlessness, illiteracy, and idleness, and place our country on a path of growth, development, and lasting freedom. But more importantly, it is also to make sure that we have a stable democracy, a stable, progressive government at all levels of our government in South Africa, at national level, at provincial level, at local government level, where our people live, so that we are able to provide service delivery that is going to instill loyalty amongst our people to our republic. And on this day, let us all pledge our loyalty to our flag, to our national symbols, to our national anthem, and to our country. On this day, let us remember that first and foremost, we are South Africans. And first and foremost, we are one nation. First and foremost, we must be a nation that is united in our diversity, a nation that is moving forward to achieve the ideals that were set out in the Freedom Charter. On this day, as I end, let us remember the founding father of our nation, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Let us also remember Mama Albertina Sisulu and pledge that as a nation, we are going to continue where they stopped their work. We are going to continue to advance the lives of our people, and we are going to ensure that we subscribe and put into practice their values with integrity and with commitment. Kamanso ano ke a le leboha batho ba Freistata hore re fumane sebaka sena le monyetla ona wa ho buisana le wa ho kopana ka letsatsi lena le bohlokwa haholo bophelong ba rona re le batho ba South Africa. Ka letsatsi lena ka 1994 re ile ra fumana tokoloho ya rona. A re hlompheng tokoloho ena, re hlompheng naha ya rona, re hlompheng tsohle tse etsang hore naha ena ya rona e be naha e bonahalang hore ka nnete e tswella pele. Ke a le leboha batho ba Freistata, ke re forward le Freistata forward. Forward le Freistata forward. Forward le Freedom Day forward. Ke a leboha.